We're expecting eggs from this girl any day now. Let's take a look. Hi, sweetheart. Hi, Belle. How you doing? So today is Thursday, and she, based on her pre-lay shed, is due to lay on Sunday. So we'll leave her alone, but what we're going to do today is put together a egg box for her. Alright, so what we have here is a box. It's a Sterilite 6-quart shoebox size with the lid. We got this from Target. It's probably about $3. We have our all-natural organic Perlite, and we have our Easy Hatch tray, and we have press and seal. So we'll show you how we set up our egg box here. So what I do, and this gets a little dusty, is we're gonna pour enough Perlite in the bottom to leave about an inch of Perlite in the bottom. After that, we're going to take our water and we're going to fill it about halfway up the Perlite, and you want to get a nice mix so that it's all wet, but when you squeeze it, it doesn't drip. So I got some water here that I've had in the incubator for a little while. I need to use up, and we'll see how that does for us. Mix it all up. In our incubator, I just keep it on all the time. So if you're not keeping your incubator on, it's a good idea if you're preparing for eggs to come from one of your snakes. Make sure you turn that on before you get the eggs. You want that warmed up, make sure there's no problems, make sure you get a thermostat on it. You want pulse proportional. The on-off ones seem to fluctuate a little too much. We keep ours on all the time. It tends to help heat the reptile room too. It keeps it a little bit warmer, and we're just always ready that way. Now we've got a nice consistency here. You can see I squeeze this, but that's just Perlite falling off. I'm not getting any water, but it's moist enough that it looks like a wet sand. So we'll even that out. Might put a little bit more water. There's only a little bit left in this bottle. We'll put the rest in there. If you watch your eggs during the incubation process, if they start getting too big, you may have too much humidity in there and you need to dry it out a little. And then if it's starting to shrivel or shrink in, you have not enough humidity and you're going to need to add some water. Alright, so we've got that all flattened out. It's in a good place, and now the last part, besides putting eggs in there, is we're going to take our Easy Hatch tray and set that in there, and it fits perfect. And there's enough room between the Easy Hatch tray and the top that we'll be able to fit our eggs in there. And there's some potential wiggle room to push this down a little bit more too. So as you can see, and these Easy Hatch trays, this is my first time using it. From what I understand, they work great and they keep the eggs from moving around. One note of caution, use these squared Sterilite tubs. Now I bought some Sterilite tubs from Walmart that are a little more rounded on the bottom, as you can see. And what I ended up finding out was that this Easy Hatch tray does not fit in there once it gets to the bottom. As you can see, it tapers down, so this did not go all the way to the bottom. Now if you filled up more Perlite and had it sit above that height to where it doesn't fall into that taper, it might work, but then you might run into issues with not having enough room in between your lid and your eggs, the top of your eggs. So I didn't feel real comfortable doing that, just in case. I ended up going to Target and getting this one. It's also 6 quarts. These were, I think, $10 at Walmart. These were individually probably $2 or $3 at Target. But I feel a little bit better about the square, and as you can see, the difference here and how that sets in there. And I can do a little bit better with this square one to even straighten that out. It's my Perlite that's uneven, keeping that up right now. So just a little word of advice so you can save yourself the trouble of going out and spending $10 on 10 of those that don't fit. So from there, we'll use our press and seal, and this will help retain our humidity. And the reason I do this is right now I'm using a false wall in the back of my incubator, so there's always air movement in there, which tends to dry this out faster. So this just helps in making sure that it doesn't get too dry for the eggs. So we'll take that and you press and seal, as the name would lead you to believe.
My boy's wicked smart.
Go figure. And we'll cut this. And then from there, we add our lid, like so. And then the edges, if you have these little clamps, you might have to tuck your press and seal, and then you bring the purple clamps over the top. From here, it's ready to label, which we'll do once we get the eggs, with our pairing, the date they were laid, and the expected hatch date. And from there, we will take it and let it sit in the incubator for the next few days until we get those eggs. This way we're prepared. The other reason being, I'm going out of town for the weekend, so I will have my dad check in on Belle to make sure her eggs are good, or make sure she hasn't laid eggs. And from there, this will make his life a little bit easier in putting the eggs into the incubator with that lay box, with that hatch box being ready to go. Well, I hope you guys found this video to be helpful. If it was, and you want to see more content like this, please consider liking and subscribing. Hit the notification button down below, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye.